What up, guys? Welcome back to Hockey's Best Podcast, the Pacific Revision. Yeah, I said it. I am one of your hosts, Miguel. Hi, hello, how are you? Alongside me is my co-host, Eric. Say hello, Eric.
Hello. Good to be here, Miguel. Good to be here. I'm tired,
Here.
but you know what? The energy that is brought in by this show, by you, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to talk hockey. Surprisingly enough, who would have guessed?
You know what I mean? I'm always ready to talk hockey.
What do you go? So what do we got? We got one big thing that happened this week. Because I'm kind of excited to see, because I made you, again, this is another one of these on-the-fly shows, Miguel. It's how to break the fourth wall, where we just record when we're able to. And the only important thing I can think of, doesn't have to do with the Vegas Golden Knights, doesn't have to do with the Los Angeles Kings, but it has to do with one Alexander Ovechkin.
So, I guess we can start there. Ovechkin, in a hat-trick game, scored his 800th goal
of his career.
That is absurd.
More importantly, Miguel, more important than that, on your fantasy team.
On my fantasy team, absolutely crushed it, man. And that's so many times I was like, should I trade him away? Should I trade him away?
I've tried to get him from you. You've held.
I held it. I held. He's heating up. This man's scoring now again. Will he hit the 50? I don't know this season. It's still, he's going to have a couple 2-3 goal games.
Literally last year, though, Miguel, he had like back-to-back Hatties. So like
he's sitting at 800. He is 94 away from tying the record. I think he needs, what, you think 2 more seasons after this one to get it?
Man.
He's got to do it, right? At this point, he has to do it.
So the record's 894, right?
Yeah.
If he gets another 20, 70, yeah, 2 more years. It does feel like it's just like inevitable. Like it's going to happen. It's just more like when. By the way, currently, Miguel, this year, Alex Ovechkin, 32 games, 20 goals, 15 assists, 35 points.
The problem is with Ovechkin, he has this thing called time working against him. He is 37 years old.
Yeah, but look, let's not pretend like he's playing heavy minutes anymore. You know what I mean? Like, this man has one job. Go out there on the power play. Have you ever seen Ovechkin play live?
Me? Yeah, a few times.
Oh, it's a treat. Actually. It's a treat. Ovechkin on the fucking power play?
I literally saw this man lift the cup in person.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
I was there, unfortunately. I mean, looking back at it now, I'm happy I'm there, despite it being loss, heartache, pain.
No, you should be bitter.
I mean, I was there for history. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you should be bitter.
I witnessed Ovechkin raise the cup. So, I mean, at least I can say that.
Nah, be bitter. I'd be angry. I'd be like, no record for you. I want nothing but bad things happening to you. Because, Miguel, what if that could have been the only time the Vegas Golden Knights get that close to win the cup? You never know. Sports are weird. Sports are bad juju. But
I mean, for sure, Alex, for sure. I mean, like, we saw Joe Thornton playing. He's 41. 43.
Yeah, like 41, 42. What if he got to like 42, though? Like,
I know. That's what I'm saying. Ovi has to, like, and what I mean about, like, at 40, he can still play, but I'm like,
dude, he's at 37, he's over a point a game so far this season. He's shooting above his career average. Like,
you gotta do it, right?
Like, he's kind of a machine. Like, it's him and, like, maybe Joe Pavelski who are like...
do you think he retires the season he breaks it? He got to, right? That's like... Because no one else is going to come close. Just no one else is going to come close.
Well, do you do the thing where, like, he'll barely beat it? Like, 895, 896. But even then, he could... If he's... Let's say he... 2 years from now, right? At the end of the year, he ends at 898, right?
Yeah.
What's stopping him from going, you know what? I can be 40, and I can also be the only person to ever score 900 goals.
I mean, well, when I said but the season, I assume he will break 900 in the same season he gets to 894. That's what
I'm just saying, like, if he gets close to it, and like, just something happens, you never know. You go on a slump, like as he gets close to that number, Ovechkin's gonna be gripping that stick a little tighter. You know what I mean?
I mean, for sure. And then, but I feel it's so funny. It's like I think when he gets as cool as everyone wants to see him break the record, or most everyone. I'm sure there's people that don't want to see him break the record, but as most people want to see him break the records. No one wants to be the goalie that lets in number 894 or 895. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but someone's gonna fucking end up doing it. Like ideally, he breaks the record against Pittsburgh Penguins and Sidney Crosby. How amazing would that be if that's the game? But I don't know. Start doing the math now, I guess. But
or he gets traded and he breaks it against Washington.
He's not gonna get traded.
No, he's not gonna get traded.
The Capitals already said 0 rebuild. We're chugging along. Their goal is not to win the Stanley Cup. Their goal is to get this record to Alex Ovechkin for the next 2 to 3 years.
And that's awesome. That's great of them. They got their cup, so
yeah,
you can sacrifice the team's future for now.
Also, let's not pretend like the team isn't going to make a shitload of money from the chase. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, for sure.
Like, it's going to be a spectacle. It's going to be cool.
Like I said, everything goes perfect, barring injuries, barring any setbacks. He's going to get it in 2 years.
Yeah.
The ticket sales, it's going to be more the resale of when he's getting close to that. So here's my question to you.
Mm-hmm.
You're Alex Ovechkin. You're at 893. You're on the road. Do you not score? Do you save it? I would. Personally, I would.
No, there's no guarantees in life. So you know what's funny? Like this makes me Ovechkin reaching 800 makes me feel how much time has passed. Yeah. Because back in the long era of February 2020, I was in Colorado. Pre-COVID, man. What a time. I was in Colorado for the outdoor game, Kings Avalanche. And at that time, Ovechkin was sitting at 698 in town. And then he was in town playing the Avs. And I went, look, if I have to go, I got to go do it. That man tried as hard as he could to score 700. He didn't that night. I think he did it 2 nights later, which didn't make me feel bad because, like, if he did it the following night, I'd be like, God damn it. So close. But he did it 2 nights later. I think he's just going to fucking get it, regardless of where he's at. If his chase for like 700 was anything.
I would, like, doing it at home would be so much sweeter, though.
Oh, if you could drop like a perfect scenario, he's at home against the Penguins and it's a game-winning goal. You know what I mean?
I guess in 2 years we shall see.
It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. And it's fucking incredible that someone's actually breaking one of fucking Gretzky's records.
And I feel like, as crazy as this sounds, like, let's say you're going into, let's say he keeps his 50 goal pace. Well, how many is he at right now for the season?
He is at 32 games in.
20, only 20?
Yeah. So I mean, if he goes on his pace, he's around, let me do some quick maths. He's around like 58.
Let's just say he gets 50. So he gets 30 more. He ends at 830. And then he gets 50. Next season, he has 880. So you know he's only 14 away. I'm sure the NHL will set up the schedule so that, like, obviously you can never predict anything. But I'm like, they're gonna get a home stretch in the middle or like a long home stretch in the beginning, depending on where he's at. You know what I mean? You don't think?
100%. 100%. You're gonna try to just front load. You do a couple road games to start the year, and then back. Give them a nice like 6, 7, 8 game homestand for some reason.
Yeah, they start like 6, 7 on the road, and then they do like a 10 game home streak.
You break it there.
You put 2 games against Pittsburgh in there. You put like all the biggest rivalries. Although they did a breakdown of like which team he scored the most. He scored 51 goals on Winnipeg Jet. That is the team he has scored the most on.
which is again impressive because, well, no, I guess it makes sense because Atlanta used to be in the East.
Yeah, East. Yeah,
but even then, Atlanta hasn't been in the East for 10 years.
Yeah, a long time.
Because
so it's very impressive because he plays Winnipeg twice a year.
Yeah.
Last place is I think it was Seattle, where he's only scored 4 goals on.
I mean, makes sense. But even then, I think he has 4 goals in 3 games against them.
Yeah, and he only has 5 against Vegas, not including playoffs. So
you don't want to know what those are.
I mean, Vegas does well against Washington
except when it matters.
With our luck, though, he will break the record against Vegas. So then he will cherish. You get
more highlights of Alex Ovechkin over you. You know what's funny? Like us trying to do math right now of like when he's gonna break it or how many years it's gonna take for him to break it.
Yeah.
Greg Wyshynski of ESPN, because I guess the Board of Governors meeting happened in Florida this past week.
Yeah.
But apparently they were discussing about having an 84 game season instead of an 82 game season.
Why?
Just because some teams have complained that they don't play enough division games. Which I see. Because like I said earlier, I'm annoyed that the Kings only play the Sharks 3 times this year. And they play only 1 time where I live in the Bay Area currently, and it's very annoying.
I agree. I think you should play the divisionals a minimum 4 times.
Yeah, so that's what that would create. With 32 teams, you get 4 division games a year.
I'm not opposed to that. I don't think you necessarily have to. I guess you would have to add games because they have to. It's not the rule, but I get why you want every team to play each other at least once at home, once in a way, so that everyone everywhere could see whatever matchup they want, essentially.
Yeah, regardless of where you're at, if you're in the East Coast, you get to see your team once if they play in the West. But
I'm all for it, as in the short 6 years, Vegas is outstanding against the Pacific. And I believe they have a winning record against everyone in the Pacific. So.
Same amount of cups, though, at the same time. So, I mean, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, Miguel. Regular season doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. I'm just saying it's more. I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, you saw when it was only divisional games, freaking beat the Sharks up 8 times in the year.
That's true. It's true.
I enjoyed every single one of those 8 games.
I do roll my eyes a lot of the times because the NHL tries to force these rivalries like a lot of the time. Ergo, the current playoff format, which I hate. It should be 1 through 8 because I don't think it gives enough advantage to like division winners and stuff like that. Like,
I will say this: it's a shame that at the moment Vegas does not have a rival.
Us? What are you talking about? Us, San Jose. You guys care a lot about us. You guys care about us. I don't think we have a rivalry, but you care a lot when you play about us.
You guys care more about it.
No. We care more about the California teams.
While San Jose was a rivalry, the beatdown we've given them, I don't think you can call that a rivalry. You know what I mean?
All right, but in the time of the playoffs, what is it? 1-1. Like,
but no, I wouldn't call that.
And it was embarrassing the way you guys lost to them in the last of the playoffs. It's just that time heals all wounds. Like if you meet them again in the playoffs, that's all you're gonna hear.
I'm not like, a fucking thing about them.
You hate who's more competitively next to you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, of course.
Like that's the reason I think you have a distaste for like teams like Colorado, because you face a team enough times in the playoffs, you grow to hate them.
Yeah, I mean, we're 1-0 against Colorado in the playoffs, though.
Is it 1-0?
Yeah.
We didn't
make the playoffs last year. They would have. They would have taken us out.
They destroyed you.
They would have taken us out last year. We would have met them in the playoffs. Because the way it was lining up,
you're right.
It was going to be Colorado, Vegas.
Yeah.
In the first round, it was going to be Colorado, Vegas in the first round, but then.
Yeah, you would have been destroyed. But playoffs help a lot. Like the first game that the Kings played Edmonton this season, hatred's still there. Like that's what matters. Yeah. It's proximity and time and a lot of things over and over again. And the California teams are always going to hate each other. The only disappointing thing is like geographically, LA is your biggest rival. But like we haven't there's no playoff animosity there.
Even while for a while the games between LA and Vegas were always heated, I don't feel like they've been this season or last season.
Uh,
Where like the first few years, the first 2-3 years when we got Ryan Reeves, like that back to back, the whole Dowdy Marchessault, like I don't feel like I
yeah.
felt that.
They were again like proximity to like the standings. Like they were both gunning for a playoff
Yeah.
spot at that time. People didn't believe in the Vegas Golden Knights year one. So like all that stuff.
In game one in LA this year, I didn't feel like hatred of upon either side of the team.
We cared more. We cared more about the issues within because Vegas was a lot internally. LA had a lot of turnover, and I didn't care about winning or losing that game. I cared more about getting answers. And the thing that was frustrating is the way we lost that game was fucking ass.
I mean, yeah.
So I guess we'll argument
see,
right away.
I guess we will see how this game in January goes because
between us,
January, right? Yeah.
No, the next game we play is December 27th. I might actually be there for that game because I'm going back.
So
home.
We'll see if that game is more heated, and it may be because I mean, game one is just like game one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's overreacting a bunch of stuff. Like none of it matters. Like currently, you and I are sitting 1-2 in the division. It's nice.
Yeah,
Kings have played a shit ton of games. Again, if we're talking about schedule makers, I don't know why this fucking schedule for the Kings are so goddamn front loaded. Because
you guys have the most games played, right
yes,
now?
by like a lot compared to other teams. And it's not even fucking weird. You know what's funny? Like when that happens in LA, it's because stuff is booked at Staples Center. You got award shows and stuff. Guess what? There hasn't been any award show yet because award show season.
You are the number one most played. And behind you is two teams, Vegas and Capitals at 32.
Yeah.
And then it's a bunch of 31s, 30s, and 29s.
Yeah, I hate it. Award season isn't until January, February, and then they go on their Grammy road trip.
I hate it too because last year that was Vegas, and that's why it never, even when Vegas was in a playoff spot, it never was comfortable. Towards the end, it was never comfortable because like, well, fucking LA it's 5 games.
2 more games left. Yeah, they're 5 points, but they have 2 games left.
And we're only 3 points ahead of them. Like they're gonna make up 3 points in 5 games. Like that's why I never felt comfortable, and I always knew that Vegas was gonna fall out because Vegas had played so many games early, and they were so ahead and so behind in points in that regard. So
every time LA is played, like I'll look at the end of the week and be like, all right, they played a lot of games this week. Clearly next week should be a lighter schedule. No, it's like 4-7, 5-7.
I think it's very best to have way less games. You know what I mean?
Like to start at least. I don't know. I don't want to backload it either. So I guess this is for the best. Who knows? Like, I don't know. Like them getting repetition helps, I guess, and getting all the kinks out and you know what your answers are. But
yeah.
It doesn't help when my anxiety is like, I hope these guys are still in a playoff spot. Let's see what Connor McDavid or the Calgary Flames did. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
that's just being nitpicky. And yeah, like if they go to 84 games, like is that better? I guess if you want like more division games, but like it's not really gonna like. That's why it's so hard. Like once you get to like December, end of December, January, February, that's like the middle of the season where everything just feels like whatever.
Yeah.
Like post All-Star break is when it finally starts kicking in, but like it really depends team to team on like how much emphasis there is. Because like we always said, Miguel, you can't win a playoff spot right now, but you can lose it.
Can lose it. So, I guess we're done with the Ovechkin talk. We can transition to how our weeks have been. I'll get into mine real quick because I think yours can be more longer. It's crazy. So Vegas is suffering a lot of injuries again. I cursed the Vegas Golden Knights last week.
Yeah, what were your exact words for last year?
Huh?
What was your like exact words for last week?
I don't remember. It was along the lines where I'm like, we're so comfortable that even if injuries hurt us again this year, I don't think it's gonna hurt us like it did last year.
Yeah, hockey Jesus did not like that.
And literally, almost immediately the next day, Eichel went down. He got I forgot what it was. His is a lower body injury. Speculation is knee. He is day to day, but he hasn't played in the week, so technically he's week to week.
Yeah.
Jay Theodore, a lower body injury as well. He is out week to week. He is week to week. White Cloud, Taylor Hall, landed on White Cloud's knee in a very bad angle, and he is out month to month. So Vegas is out. Their two best, and then Alex Petrangelo is still out. A little has come out on the Alex Petrangelo end, but not too much. So the
Yeah, I was about
word,
to ask, do we know something? Because
the word is a close family member illness.
ugh, that's
The fact that he's
it's a
been
bummer.
out for 3 weeks now
Might be
sucks.
someone like hospice or something, or you don't want to guess, but
Yeah.
like it's something
I don't
that
want to. Yeah, I don't want to widely speculate. I pray. I hope the best for his family,
fucking
and
yeah.
whatever they're going through, I hope they get through it because that is, I can't even imagine, man.
No, as much as you want to like joke around and like hockey is serious and doesn't matter. It's a job for them at the end of the day of it, and
Exactly.
like this, like anything
Exactly.
with families, 1,000 times more important than any hockey game, regardless of when it is.
Yeah, so out Vegas is out there, top two defensemen, and then White Cloud, who's also a good defenseman. He's not top, obviously not in the top. He's a bottom pairing, but he's still no, he's mid pairing actually.
That impacts your depth. You know what I mean?
It impacts the depth, yeah. I mean, we got Miramanov. He came up. He's pretty much bottom pairing. He scored. He had a 3-point game on his first game in. The problem with Miramanov is he's young. It was his first NHL goal. He got 3 points, so that's good for him. But he is not the most responsible defensively. The kid can score, and he's great on the power play. But man, he made a lot of mistakes. But he's young. I mean, that happens. But yeah, then Eichel's out week to week, and then Willem Carrier took a slap shot to the wrist, and that's the last we've seen of him. So he may be out. People are thinking a small fracture on the wrist for him. So he won't be out too long, but he will be out for some time. Mark Stone went down for a few days, but he's back up. He took a cross check to the ribs. But he's playing again, and he played well last game. Vegas has been playing decently. The defense it's hurting. Like, luckily they've been able to outscore teams except the Bruins. But I mean, it's the Bruins. But the goaltending's still there. Thompson's been a bit shaky, but he looked great last night against who did they play?
They played Chicago, didn't they?
They played Chicago, yeah.
That's
He
not
looked great.
That's not much of
No.
a test.
Hill actually been playing better of the two, but Thompson's still looking good. Hill freaking stole a game away from Winnipeg Jets. Well, I didn't realize are doing really well right
Winnipeg
now.
is killing it.
And because when we beat Winnipeg, I didn't think it was a big deal, but apparently it was because Winnipeg only has 9 losses. 3 of those losses are to Vegas. Vegas holds a third of their losses. They swept the season series against Winnipeg. So while Vegas is still winning and they're second in the league, it doesn't feel like it, if that makes sense. Because they haven't been playing like it. But like, I mean, to be cliche, good teams find a way to win, right? So
yeah, I mean,
able to
6-4 in the last 10, so not like wow, but more wins than losses, so you'll take it.
Again, Vegas' inability to take games into overtime, like that's again, Vegas only has 1 overtime loss. I mean, they only have 9 losses, but like you would hope they could manage to come back. They do have the most third period comebacks of the entire league at the moment at 7, I think. They've been down 7 times in the third and come back to win it. They are the reverse Canucks. And that's about it. I mean, Vegas is trucking along. They've managed to win with all those injuries, and they're big injuries. They're missing a lot of big players. So that's one good sign over last year. Where last year they lost, I would say, the equal amount of player, if not a little less, because last year they lost more forwards than defensemen. This year they've lost more defensemen than forwards, and they're still managing to find a way to win. They're still second in the league, number 1 in their division and on the Western Conference. So I mean, fingers crossed. Hopefully, no more injuries because the debt is like, I don't see who else you call up from the AHL. I think they're at their limit. If at any one more big loss, and I think it's bad. I think it's bad. But then I mean, what other team can lose that many top players and not be looking bad? But I mean, they're finding ways to win. Now, LA. You've had an interesting week.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting is a good way to put it. It's
funny. If we would have recorded yesterday or 2 days ago,
no,
before
I'm not. I'm not letting them off the hook. All right,
okay.
I'm not letting them off the hook because I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated because I'm trying. I'm trying not to be overly negative because I feel like that's everyone's usual strategy was how the season's going. And
I mean, they're
fine.
They're second in the division,
but they've played a shit ton of games, so I'm not even feeling good about that. We'll see. Like I think point percentage wise, I think they're fourth, but it would still be in a playoff spot. So whatever. I am bewildered. I am befuddled. I am miffed. I am confused. I am perplexed. I am angry. I am disappointed. And I'm amazed at how this team is losing a lot of the times, which is complete opposite from last year. Like it's a complete 180. There are some changes, but like, man, they're topped. Okay, so let me do good because I'm trying to formulate my thoughts because it's been a lot. Like, if we were recorded 2 days ago or a day ago, a lot more anger. But they won. They beat. Hey, guess Miguel, you're second best team in the league, right? Guess who they beat yesterday? The best team in the league, the Boston Bruins, and they came back from a 2-goal deficit. Yeah, they beat them on the road.
Boston Bruins only have 2 losses at home.
You're looking to who right here, baby?
Pacific best division.
Yeah.
That's all.
They came back from a 2-0 lead. They could have wilted away against the best team in the league right now, and they did it. And that's good. Thank God. Whatever. That win felt really good last night. Trying to fucking remember the word for yesterday. But the game against Toronto last week, 5-0 ass kicking, and then a game against fucking Buffalo, where I tried. Okay, I tried to be positive. And that's my strategy for right now. And the bar was low, Miguel. The bar was low, and I hope they don't give up 6 goals for the 6th. That would have been the 7th time that year.
Yeah.
And they play great the first 2 periods, and they get fucking stonewalled by 41-year-old Craig Anderson. All right, it happens. But then they give up 6 goals in the 3rd. And they quit. Like they did. They quit. They got down. That 3rd goal was just a defensive breakdown. They were pushing. It was 2-on-1, tic-tac-toe in the net. Phoenix Copley, who's up from Ontario, replacing Cal Peterson while he's back in the AHL trying to figure out his game. Can't do anything about it. Like that's it. And Copley got lit up, but I don't know how you put that on him at all.
Yeah.
Because the defense it's bad. It's bad. And last year they didn't have the skill that they do up front with guys like Kevin Fiala now joining the team. Gabriel Lardy's kind of coming to his own as a forward. You have pieces that are better and added to the team. Kempe has another year under him, and he's picked it up of late too. But the team last year relied a lot on 1-3-1. Clog up the neutral zone, force the other teams to dump it in, make it hard for them that way. They've tried to go away from that a little bit, and it doesn't really work because the decision-making isn't there. They make a lot of bad pinches. They make a lot of bad puck battles and guessing where the puck is going to be instead of knowing where it's going to be. And it's biting them in the ass. And it's mistakes at the blue line. And you can't do that because then, hey, breakaway the other way. And it seems to happen at the most opportune times. The Kings still lead the league in giving up shorthanded goals, as opposed to your Vegas Golden Knights, who leads the league in scoring shorthanded goals.
Yeah.
And those things kind of break you depending on when they're at. Like, you shouldn't, and this is kind of a carryover theme from last season, but you shouldn't dread having your team have one more guy on the ice than the other one. And yet here we are, even though they're better. They're a lot better, and I do give them that. But when they make mistakes, boy, do they make them. Remember the Mike Smith effect, Miguel. You can be killing it, but then as soon as you make your mistake, you make the one that fucking sucks. And it's just deflating. And I don't know what else you do besides trading people and just finding other ways to win. The team is top 3 in the league in scoring goals, but they're in the bottom 2 of giving up goals, and they're a minus, I think, 11 or 12 goal differential for the year.
Yeah.
That is bad, because when they lose, they lose. They're losing 5-1 to fucking Pittsburgh.
I haven't checked. But last time we talked about this, not on the podcast, but LA were the only team with a losing record in the negative goal differential in the playoffs. I don't know if that still remains true, but that was like, and it's crazy considering you're not even in the wild card spot. You're in a
number 2, number 2 of the division. Because when they lose, they get deflated and they fucking lose. Oh my God. Yeah, negative 11 currently. They are, the only team in a playoff spot currently in the entire league with a negative goal differential, and it's not even close. It's it's bad. And the goaltending hasn't been great, but the defense hasn't really helped. And oddly enough, putting in Phoenix Copley from the AHL has kind of helped, because you've seen it. If you have a backup in there, your team's going to play differently. They're not going to over-rely on Jonathan Quick to make a spectacular save 80 times, in a game if they need to, I just... It does feel like a change needs to happen. And I've seen a lot of people go after Todd McLennan. And, it's time. Some of the decisions have been weird. People are over Sean Walker. And I understand why. But my biggest thing was, coaching changes mid-season is, okay, who do we go get? Go get Barry Trotz is the solution for everybody who doesn't like their coach currently on their team. Barry Trotz doesn't need to coach this year. And he doesn't need to coach next year. If he didn't go coach Winnipeg, where he's from, I don't know what other situation he's going to get. He could have gone to Vegas. And Vegas is as good as a setup as you have.
Yeah, the rumor was Vegas pushed hard for...
as everyone
Trotz.
should. And who are you going to get to replace? There's no one in the AHL. Our AHL coach is one of the old LA Kings assistant coaches, and he's fine at developing young guys. But he's not coming up. So you don't have anyone in the pipeline waiting. So I don't think Todd's the answer. I understand the way they're just anemic and there has been no change in defense. A big thing on why people want change, but who? Who else do you bring in? What changes are there? And if people listening to this know, tell me, because I've thought about it a ton. And it's a lot easier to be all right, go get a left-handed defenseman who's defensively responsible. That's a lot easier to do. And there just might be... The answer could just be so much as easy as it's... the fit isn't there. The puzzle pieces they currently have on a team just don't fit. Defense is too young, and that happens. But offensively, the forwards are good. Defensively, it could be better. And there's been moments of brilliance from Sean Durzi and guys like that, but there's also been, the first 2 periods were rough for Sean Durzi.
Yeah.
But that third period, it just clicked in, and it's moments of brilliance followed by moments of agony. And luckily this time they flip-flopped it around. They held in long enough. They were down 2 goals, and they ended up winning in a shootout. Scored by newly extended Trevor Moore. 5 years, $4.2 million for the next. So Thousand Oaks man gets paid. But I'm not going to fucking lie. I've never been so salty and in a long time at a regular season game than I was after that Buffalo game. And it's not about losing. A loss is a loss and a win is a win, regardless of how much it is by. But the way they lost that Buffalo game is inexcusable of how bad they were. Miguel, if we were playing that game in NHL 23, we'd fucking quit. Immediately after that third goal. Immediately after that third goal with how bad that fucking defense was.
I agree.
It's funny because I thought recording this I wasn't gonna be as like frustrated, and I am, and it's weird. But they play their next couple games are pretty easy. They play the Sharks, they play the Ducks, they play the Coyotes. That should be. Am I wrong for wanting to think optimistically about this? Sharks, Ducks, Coyotes.
As long as you win 2, right? 2 to 3. I mean, ideally you should win all 3, but it's the NHL. Anything can happen. As long as you win 2 of the 3, I think.
But also it's also how they lose.
It's also how they agree.
If they fucking get killed by the Ducks, I don't know how you keep anything the way it is. And that's the unfortunate thing, because I would like them to try things more, but they beat Boston, so there's no lineup change that's going to happen. And they're taking a slow approach with Clinton Byfield right now. I know a lot of people want to see him up there, but again, he was sick, lost 30 pounds, and he's killing it in the AHL right now. So when it's his time, it'll be his time. And it doesn't make sense to bring him up right now, because I do fear like he needs consistency. He hasn't had it at all his entire career. He got drafted during COVID, didn't play in the OHL, played in a weird AHL season. The following year during the bubble season, broke his ankle the preseason, played a couple games on a bad team, joined the Kings midway through last season, and he did okay. And he's 20. So I understand wanting the next big thing. I know people see like fucking Timmy Stützle, who's taking a pick right after him, lighting it up in Ottawa, but there's two different situations and they don't need to rush this. We saw what Patience did with Gabe Berlardi, and this is the one area where I don't need change right now. Byfield will come up when it needs to come up. That'll be later. But in the meantime, what position do we need to solidify and figure out who's available to trade and then get those pieces, I guess. And the piece is always going to be a left-handed defenseman, at least for now. And I know they looked at goaltending, but I'm not. I don't know what good bringing up a veteran goaltender, like a new one, into the organization is going to do when the defense is just bad. This might be the most I've ranted ever on this fucking show. But yeah, that's all I got. They'll be okay. I'm also afraid of going to that. Like if I'm home when they play Vegas at home, December 27th, I'm gonna go. And I am terrified that I'm gonna see like a 6-1 Vegas win, and I'm just gonna drive back home all angry.
I don't know. I mean, it's tough because, like, I don't know personally. Again, yeah, you want to beat the Ducks, but like. And even Shark, that's the problem. Like I said, you should win 2 of those three games minimum, bare minimum. But it's also rivalry games.
Yeah.
Despite how bad Sharks and Ducks are, they're always going to play fucking hard when they play against California teams. You know what I mean?
Also, the fact that they came off a 7-game road trip, 6-game road trip.
Yeah,
a long road trip. They played Boston yesterday. At the time of this recording, yesterday. They have to play the Sharks tomorrow at home. So going from Boston to LA, having 1 day rest in between, and then playing a rivalry game, like that scares me.
I'm guessing they didn't practice today, right?
No, fuck no. Yeah, no, they might do like a walkthrough or something, but that also scares me too. Like I don't know how urgent the need to win is going to be against the Sharks, because they are the Sharks currently. But we'll see once the game gets started.
And then you're coming from a road trip, a long flight home.
Yeah. They did play the Sharks already once this year. It was a nothing game. LA handled them pretty easily. They played well. So who knows? But I don't think the road of frustration is over for me. At least not now. We'll see in like 10 to 20 games. But for right now, it's just starting.
I mean, well, we'll see. Do you want to, before we move on, not much left to talk about. Do you want to talk about your Trevor Moore? I know you passed over it, but I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, Trevor Moore signed an extension, 5 years, 4.2, 21 million, I think it is. Man, it's cool. It's cool. Having that Trevor Moore trade really is awesome, and I do love sometimes when he's like one of the stars in the games, like they'll interview him at the bench. He was like, "Oh, dude, you used to sit here and now you're playing for the Kings. Like, how crazy is that?" I'm like, that's insane to have that in Los Angeles, having a homegrown kid come back and play hockey for his team, and it's been good, and he's been working on it. I don't think anyone ever projected Trevor Moore to be a second line at his best 40 to 50 point guy. But he works. And I was looking at some advanced stats now, and he's good at everything. Can't finish really, but I mean, it takes, like we saw with Ovechkin, sometimes it takes special players to pot in those goals, and he does get his goals every once in a while. But the work that he brings in, you can put him in any line, and he's going to be a net positive for you.
My question now: how much does Gabe Vilardi get?
Oh, that's a big question. Because he's having a great year. He signed a 1-year deal.
That's what you don't want is. I mean, you want all your players to have good years, but ooh, wow.
He has
LA had
off.
LA had a lot of cash space, but
it's quickly gone.
It's quickly gone because then Trevor Moore's deal kicks in next year. You guys got Kevin Fiala now. And Gabe Vilardi is doing a new contract, and I mean, you're right. He has cooled off as of recently, but he's still having a good year.
All right. So currently, according to Cap Friendly, 14 players signed for next year, with a projected cap space of $14 million.
Yeah.
I think you definitely go bridge. It also helps that Quickie's $5.8 million come off the books next year.
That's gonna help a lot, yeah.
But you still have a lot of sizable contracts.
You guys are probably re-signing Quick as well, right? Obviously not for that much, but
no, and you hope hook us up, buddy. You know what I mean? Yes, 12-year deal was pretty good to you. You know what I mean?
I would think
you do a bridge. I think you have to do a bridge with him, and it's maybe like 3.5 right now. He's still an RFA, so that helps. I don't want to think about that, Miguel. I don't want to think about what the potential contract is. But
we'll move on, but just for Trevor Moore.
I don't think it'll be an issue right now.
Yeah.
If they bring in somebody else in a trade, talk to me then. But as where they sit right now is I'm looking at like who's there's oh man. UFAs is only Alex Edler, and they have 3 RFAs currently on the roster, which is Mikey Anderson, who signed a $1 million deal. He's going to get probably 4 or 5. Gabe Vilardi, who's an RFA, and Jared Addison-Dolan, which I don't think really not going to make that much more if they keep him around. So I think we'll be okay. Good news for me in terms of money, but if they bring in an expensive ass piece in the trade deadline or within the next, 30 days, 60 days, talk to me then. Ask me how I feel then. Oh, fuck you, Miguel, for making me fucking think about worst case scenarios.
Either way, into new news, speaking of salary cap, it's projected to go $1 million.
Oh, there you go. Problem solved.
That'll help.
Problem solved.
I mean, nothing much to talk about here. $1 million. That's cool.
No, but it's the year after that where like, all right, there's some nice wiggle room there. Teams are going to have $4 to $5 million.
Next year's $1 million. That's cool.
2 years, 4 to 5. Might be. It's going to get close to 90, and that's gonna. Some people are going to make some dumbass signings at free agency, and I can't wait to see who does it.
Real quick, I want to circle back to the Golden Knights because it's the Golden Knights. I forgot to mention Vegas, number 1 in the league on away goals.
What does that matter?
They're 32. Hold up. They're 32 at home. They're dead last at home.
Okay, never mind. I'm back. That's honestly hilarious.
They've been terrible at home this year. They, out of their 10 losses, 1 being overtime losses, they have lost 7 times at home. 7 times at home out of their 10 losses. 70% of your losses.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good, especially because you guys are currently the best team in the West, so you get nothing but home games.
It's crazy, right? It is
That's kind of funny.
crazy. I know. Actually, I just wanted to glance over that. I forgot to mention that. What?
No, that's a fun fact. That's so funny.
Yeah. Where in years past they were the best home team. They were because I mean everyone had the Las Vegas hangover. So I mean that's the word around the league. Like that's why they were always the best team. They were one of the best teams at home because people go to Vegas, especially the teams that see Vegas once a year, go to Vegas once a year. They use that as their little
Little break,
little vacation. Teams tend to go out and party. I know every year, what's it called? I know Oilers make Vegas a like it's set up where when they go to Vegas, they're there for a few days, and they hang out. Because I know McDavid's birthday landed on when they play Vegas. Like that's how they set it up, and a lot of teams do that. I mean, it makes sense, right? So they're so good at home.
Yeah, but apparently someone did a Uno reverse card, and it's fucking you guys over.
And it's fucking us over. Yes, that's all I want to say.
That's so.
A few other little bits of news, nothing too crazy. Bruins and Avalanche have inquired about Jonathan Toews from Chicago.
Sure.
I'm surprised things on the Chicago end have been quiet as far as Patrick Kane and Jonathan.
There was news that they would talk about it in the new year, both Kane and Toews. So I mean, I would suspect neither of those guys to be there anymore once we get to January. But yeah, I think you're just gonna see it's gonna be the contenders. It's gonna be Edmonton. Colorado makes sense since they need to bolster their depth because they're also injured to shit right now.
Yeah.
And Boston makes sense because this does feel like the last year with the way they structured the Bergeron and the Krejci contracts. This does feel like the last hurrah for that current roster.
Oh, for sure.
I have a little
Bergeron to Vegas next year.
Could you imagine? I would hate myself. I do have one bit of news because it's fun fact. We got to get those Toronto clicks, Miguel. So we're going to talk about Toronto Maple Leafs. So Leafs fans, here's your time. Mitch Marner's point streak came to an end. Franchise-setting record.
Crazy.
I believe it was 23 games. So congratulations, Mitch Marner.
Off the top of your head, do you know the LA one?
Fuck no. No, I don't think anyone's ever had I don't think everyone's had a giant point streak.
I don't know the Vegas one either. I want to say the Vegas one is like 9. It's not that great.
I mean, you've only been here for 6 years.
And I think it was Carlson. But yeah, I mean, that's crazy. For Mitch Marner, that is nuts. Well, it ended at what, 23?
Yeah, I believe 23 games. Yep, 23.
That is more than a quarter of the season. That's kind of crazy.
Do you want to know?
That is absurd.
A stupider fact, by the way.
What?
So Mitch Marner, currently on his little heater, right?
Yep.
23 games, you at least get 1 point. This is so stupid. Again, this is the classic segment of "You have to be kidding me," fucking Connor McDavid.
Yeah, of course.
Mitch Marner, 37 points. This is after his point streak. Connor McDavid has 60 and doesn't have a point streak, I think, of more than 10 or something like that.
Are you serious?
This season. He hasn't had a tremendous point streak.
But
when he fucking scores.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he
has
constantly
60 points.
I mean, he constantly has like 3-4 point nights. That's why.
Connor McDavid has 27 goals and 33 assists. 60 points. Only a +6, though.
And what? They're sitting outside the playoffs looking in right now?
No, right? they're first wild card right now. Okay. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
McDavid currently in the lead for the Rocket Richard. I think the sentiment for McDavid has always been like, if he wants to win the Rocket, he probably could. This might be the year he has to because of just the lack of depth.
Damn, Jason fell to third because Tage Thompson has been on the tear and he is sitting.
There's another one. That holy shit, what a season he's having. He had a 5-point game against last week against I have no idea who, but he also fucking lit up the Kings too. 2 rockets of a shot against LA where you can't do nothing about. But that's all I have. I just want to bring that out. That even with a 23 franchise-setting point streak, McDavid still has just a boatload of points more than Mitch Marner with no point streak that long, like anywhere near that long. Insane.
You know what's insane about Tage Thompson?
He's like 6'7" doing this shit.
While he got a great contract, imagine if he would have waited.
Oh yeah, through the roof.
7.2 starting next season. That's great contract. Great contract.
Yeah,
but he's definitely played at a higher than a 7.2 contract.
We're about to have a new round of players of like who gets the most underpaid and best value contract in the NHL.
The competition is heated on underpayment for sure. Because last bit of news I have
nothing else after this, so this could be it.
Nothing crazy, nothing honestly, but good for him is Jacob Verana is back with the Detroit after being on the NHL player assistant.
Hey, good for Jacob.
Personal issues, so good for Jacob. He hasn't played yet, but he's back on the team training. He said he's happy. He's glad that the NHL is there to help him out, and is happy to be back with his team.
No, it's good. Yeah, you got to use your resources. You know, if you need help, go out and get it. You know what I mean? There's no shame in needing help. So it's good that he can be back out there healthy and hopefully have fun and help that young ass Detroit team, who's they look to be trending on the right way. That's great.
Yeah,
I like it. Thank you. You know, Miguel, I appreciate you for ending that on a high note. I like that. A little bit of positivity.
Of course. We're happy for Rana, happy for Detroit. Either way, you can find me at Miguel Kicks all over the internet and Collectors Lobby on YouTube. I'm back uploading. Just uploaded a new video yesterday. Got 3 on the pipeline already.
Ooh.
So stay tuned. Giveaway coming in the new year. And Erick, where can the people find you?
Find me at _Erick Oriana, Twitter, I guess. That fucking garbage place on fire. Instagram as well. It's _ERICKORELLANA. Trying to use Hive now. Just at Erick Oriana. Same thing. No underscore. It's back now. Apparently needed to get an update. And they've worked it. Server's good. It looks cool. I don't know if it's going to stick, but I'll give it a shot. You can also find me on Marble Snap, Miguel, because that game has taken over my life.
That game's the best. It's the best.
It's so good. I fucking broke. I broke and not fucking buying that season pass, and I did it. And I'm happy I did.
I mean, you got to support the games you like. You know what I mean?
I know. And
I don't think this game's egregious with asking money for
that Gambit pack of $30.
Oh, the stuff is overpriced, but I'm saying it's not like it's pay to win.
No,
not
yet.
You know what I mean?
Not yet, but $30 is steep for a couple variants. But like, anywho,
the money you spent is all on cosmetic stuff, and also I got the God of War Platinum today, guys.
Hey, congratulations!
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I am the God of War.
How's that game? Good.
It's amazing. I love it. It's my game of the year. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
I'm currently not that far into it. How I showed you a screenshot. I also posted it on Twitter because Miguel gave me some Vegas odds of me finishing this game before my wedding in March. How far am I?
I mean, if you just streamlined it from where you're at,
I have not, because I literally got distracted by a side mission there.
And that's the thing with God of War. You're gonna do the side missions, but I mean, I think you're 25% in through.
Do you still believe in me, even though after the fact I told you I took a 2-week break from playing this game?
Oh, I misunderstood you. I thought you said you took a 2-week break.
Well, I didn't play it because I had people living in this room that I'm in, where my PlayStation is at. So I bought it. So here's a quick recap. I bought it when it came out. I've been playing roughly like an hour and a half. Took a 2-week break because people were living in here in this office where my PlayStation is at. And now I'm continuing the journey. March 4th.
I think you will beat it. Although I think it's going to become more difficult the closer you get to your wedding.
Yeah, I also got next week I'll be in LA for a week, so that's another week gone. It's another week gone. No playing. I'm not bringing my PlayStation.
You may be going to LA in January as well.
It's true.
So
it gets tricky. But for now,
I think you got it.
For now, Miguel, Send us home.
Either way, for everyone listening and for those watching on YouTube, thank you so much. We really do appreciate each and every single one of you. I really do. And thank you guys for listening and watching. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.
Goodbye.